So, Sycraia, wanna talk about it? I promise this time I'm not gonna call it irrelevant like I did 5 months ago when I last came here. In my defense, it was right around when Corsair was new as a class, it just got its awakening, and I was playing on Succession, and it wasn't really known to be one of the best grinders out there. In fact, it was kind of mediocre. Since then, the class got buffed multiple times, and after the class reworks, you already know, most classes that were not reworked got damage buffs, so I decided to come back here and grind this area again, see how it performs with much higher clearing speed, and hopefully this time I don't say just go to Elvia because Sycraia is dead. So let's take a look at what we have to work with. This is a clip from 5 months ago, how this area performed in terms of money per hour back then, with about 5.1 thousand trash per hour on a blue loot scroll, again Corsair Succession, and I will point out I forgot to add the black stones in the spreadsheet back then, my bad, and the black magic crystals were much cheaper back then, and so were the frenzy elixirs, keep that in mind. If I take a look at the exact same chart with today's prices, the updated values, again the much more expensive black magic crystals and the frenzies, same clearing speed, but now I have to beat about 310, let's say, million silver per hour with once again blue loot scroll as a base and 5.1 thousand trash per hour. At this point, it should go without saying, today I'm still playing Corsair Succession as the main class with just slightly better gear than I had 5 months ago, and I did 2 hours grinded on my wizard with the same gear because I wanted to check out the class after it was reworked. Full tier for pets as per usual, and let's see how those 5 hours actually went. The area is kind of not super extremely contested. I did get 2 people who asked me for duel for spot in the 5 hours, maybe because the rotation I used, the statue rotation, is probably known to be one of the better ones these days, but yeah, it's not dead, it's not extremely unreasonably contested, but there are people around. In terms of how you grind, you already know, Sycraia is such an old area, it's really densely packed, blah blah blah, nothing really special. The only thing I could point out is the ring drop rate here seems to be extremely high with at the very least 1 ring drop per hour, or if not, you get the red shard. Before I forget this time, I would like to point out that after the Black Spirit Rage was reworked, where you don't have to press Z to get the buff, you can just use the 100% skill, Corsair kind of pulled the short end of the stick because my 100% skill is so long that I don't think it's even worth it to use it, so maybe that makes the class a bit slower than the others, I don't know. After 5 hours, this is the bank with the results, with the crystals stored in the marketplace. The black magic crystals here drop quite often. So let's take a look at Excel and the updated conclusion. I would say once again, if you don't have the time to watch the rest, long story short, about 450 million silver on blue loot scroll, 500 on yellow, and let's say 580 on blue plus Agris. But do keep in mind, I did drop 8 rings in 5 hours. That's like 1.5 rings every single hour. I would say that's a bit RNG carried, so just for the sake of it, here are the results with only 5 rings in 5 hours. So maybe this money per hour number is a bit more reasonable. Regardless, I'm gonna go back to my actual results. Trash per hour wise, I was able to pull very close to 9,000 trash on a yellow loot scroll. This is today's baseline. I don't know, let me know in the comments if this is considered once again just mediocre, average, or just really good clearing speed. For the blue plus Agris, it's 13.7 thousand trash average, and on blue loot scroll it's basically 6.1 or 6,000. This is at 36% scaling because one of the mobs, the bigger ones in Sycraia, drops more trash than the smaller ones. So it's not exactly that 33%. Regardless, it's irrelevant information. Capra drop rate here, right around 20-ish per hour, just slightly higher than I had before because I clear faster. Dust, about 30 of them per hour, but the real important numbers, what surprised me, is 9 black magic crystals average per hour. The BMC here drop rate seems to be extremely good if you actually need these, so I would recommend Sycraia for BMCs at least. And the abyssal essences for making the frenzy elixirs, right about 30 of them per hour, really high drop rate, and with frenzies being so expensive. Like, this is the profit you get after the marketplace tax and after the items you need to buy to make the frenzy elixirs. So yeah, that's kind of it for money per hour, honestly. When I came back here, I had really low expectations. I didn't think this area would be better than Elvia, but turns out with the right amount of RNG and with the current prices on the marketplace, with the BMCs being basically max price, I should say, my spreadsheet uses the base white value of the items. So instead of 6 million, for example, BMCs are valued at 5.6. But yeah, currently Sycraia is really good. As for the Agris efficiency, big surprise, nothing really changed. I did my third hour fully on Agris to see if this area was buffed in any way, but the numbers are basically the same, except I grind much faster. Now I need about 120-ish thousand Agris to actually grind the full hour, which I wasn't able to. I only did 51 minutes with my 100,000 points, and the number that you want to know is this one, 47.5 thousand for efficiency. And just once again, I will show you the old results from a long time ago on Sycraia, and then the Valencia charts, the updated ones and the Elvia ones, so you can compare that efficiency number. Long story short, just don't use them here. If you're absolutely desperate to burn Agris and you have to use them, I guess go for it, but if you have the patience and the choice, go to Valencia instead, because you get double the value, basically. And I will leave it at that. That's my Sycraia revisit. I'm happy I came back here. The results are really good if you get RNG carried with those rings, and I will now move on into some other buffed area, maybe Sycraia upper level. I will catch you next time with maybe that one. Until then, stay happy, as always. Thanks for all of the members, I keep forgetting to mention them. I appreciate all of you, despite me doing almost nothing to give you benefits for members, but I appreciate all of you. Yeah, catch you next time. Bye bye.